Hey everyone, so I've been seeing everyone struggling with this A2P stuff lately, and I've never really had a problem with it, so I figured I would show you guys how I do it. So first things first, settings, right, and then you're going to go to phone numbers, and you're going to go to Trust Center, and then you'll click this blue button here that says Start Registering Now. You're going to go ahead and pick whether you are located in the US or Canada and whether or not you have an EIN. Whether or not you have an EIN does matter. If you have an EIN, you can have multiple phone numbers. If you don't, you can't. And it will also change this process a little bit. I'm going to just make this video for the people that do have an EIN because I think that's going to be the majority of the users in here. And, if you don't have an EIN and you really need this video made, just let me know. So you go ahead and click Continue. You're going to go ahead and fill this information out. Now, this information does need to match exactly with the information that is on your tax documents, right? So whatever you registered your business on, you get your W-2s, W-9s, whatever, etc. You're going to make sure that that address, name, information all matches what you have on those registration forms, right? Very important because that's how they're going to verify your business. So make sure that when you're putting this information in, everything is correct. If you're in the US, it's an EIN, right? Pick the correct type of business that you're in. Make sure this matches exactly. So it would be Apple Corp or Apple LLC, right? Whatever your full name is, right? And then same thing down here, right? Want to make sure your EIN is correct and valid. And business industry, which industry that you're in, right? Business email, again, make sure this is one that is registered to your business, hopefully. And then, like not a Gmail. Website, you want to make sure this is a valid website. This is super important. This is where a lot of them end up getting kicked back, right? So this needs to be a valid website. Okay. It also needs to have a compliant A2P form. So it needs to be on the front page where it's easily accessible, and it should not be a survey. It should be a form where the checkbox is clearly visible. As well, you must have a link with a privacy policy and terms and conditions that actually works and is valid. Okay, this is huge. They're really cracking down on that one, and I've been seeing a lot of people getting hung up on that. So make sure your website that is registered there, and also in another step, which we're going to go over in a second, is a valid website that, like I said, has that privacy policy, terms and conditions, and a checkbox with proper language. Okay. And then where are you doing business? Continue. Going to put in your valid address. Again, must be linked to your business. So it should be the same one that's on your tax documents or your business registration, right? Once you've completed your address, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I think you guys get the idea on that. Same thing with this one. You're going to have an authorized representative. So this should be the owner of the company or somebody who is authorized to basically sign documents for the company, right? They would be someone that you would put here. So you can do first name, last name, email, phone number, and then the position that they hold, right? And you're going to make sure that, as you can see here, we don't want to use the same email or phone number for more than 5 brands, right? So just keep that in mind. If it's one that's been used a bunch of times, just use someone else's email for that one or someone else's phone number. So it can only be used for 5. Then once you're finished with that, which I'm just going to go ahead and stuff in here. Okay. Okay, then what you're going to do next is you're going to pick either low volume or high volume, and this is depending on how much actual, volume of text that you're sending each day. So if you're doing 6,000 segments per day, and remember, one message can be multiple segments, right? If you're doing that many or less, you would just be on this low volume. So if you're a smaller company, you're not doing a whole lot of texting, probably going to be here. If you're doing multiple, hundreds or thousands of messages per day, right? More than likely, you might need to go to the high volume standard depending on how big your list that you're blasting every day is and stuff. But you can do the math, just figure out how many segments your average text is, and then divide that by how big your list is, and you can figure out whether you need to be on the low volume or the high volume. For the majority of people, it's probably going to be the low volume. So just click that. And down here, you're going to acknowledge that each time you submit this, you're going to get charged $21, basically. Okay, it's $20.95 if you want to be exact. And additional campaign fees of $12 per month will apply in accordance with the TCR rules for both failed and approved campaigns. So in other words, they're going to get you with a bunch of fees on the back end. This is the new A2P world that we live in, where they just milk you for fees. So yeah, you got to click there, right, and then click continue. Again, we're going to just stick with the low volume mixed, which you can see is recommended in there. There are some other ones, but this is the one I've always got it passed with, and I would definitely recommend sticking with that. As far as the actual messages themselves, okay, I'm going to give you guys a Word document. It's not a Word document, it's a Docs, Google Doc, that you'll be able to actually copy and paste from. So like I'll do one as an example here. Right. So it's asking use case description, right? You're going to actually grab the use case description from this document that I'm going to give you. You're going to copy it, and you're going to paste it over here, right? And then basically what you're going to do is replace anywhere where it says company, right, with your company name. Right? Obviously, that's not my company name, but you're going to put that there, right? And then the same thing with these messages, right? You're going to have sample messages that you're going to be able to copy and paste again, right? And as you can see, your company name in here, you're going to go ahead and replace that with your actual company name, right? So if it was Apple, you'd be Apple, right? And then you would also want to make sure that the date, it's not a huge deal, but like I always try and make sure that I pick a date that's like in the future. Again, I'm not going to fix it for this one, but when you put a date in there, just pick one for a future date. Again, I don't know if that actually matters, but I've just always done that, so I would stick with that. And then the same thing with the sample message too, right? You're going to be a copy and paste message. You're literally just going to paste it in there, replace your name again, right? These ones down here, unless they apply to you, you shouldn't need to use these, but that's up to you. If you're a direct lender, obviously you might, right? So just read these down here, and then once you're finished, go ahead and click continue. And then you're going to have two more forms here, right? So this is the important one, so you got to make sure that you pay attention to. So as far as the opt-in consent, right? How do they consent to receive messages? You're going to paste that in there, right? Now, by here, as you can see, I've tried to make this super noticeable, right? You're going to put in the website where they're opting in for contact, right? So this could be a contact form on your website, could be your funnel, right? Wherever they're going to submit their information. You want to make sure it's A2P compliant, right? So you need to have a checkbox which automatically goes in when you put your high level, when you put your Go High Level forms or surveys together and you pull in a phone number, it automatically adds that checkbox. You're just going to make sure that the language of that says that, by checking this box and submitting your information, you would agree to receive SMS and or phone calls from, again, your company name, right? And then make sure you have the ability for them to opt out as well, right? So it'll say, you can reply stop to unsubscribe at any time, right? And that's all you really need. Again, that language is already in there for you guys. You just got to change it up a little bit, make sure that your company name is in there, and then change your website. So this would be your website. Sorry, terrible typing today. And then once they arrive, they fill out information, conceiving to receive messages from, right, our company. So again, it would be, Apple, right? Whatever your company name is. And then the same thing down here. You're going to do your opt-out message. You're literally just going to put your name again,